Kelly Severide Taylor Kinney and Stella Kid Miranda Ray Mayo repeatedly discuss the upcoming adoption expansion of their family in Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 17, and A Beast Like This. But the show ends in a surprising way. But is a baby on the way for Stella and Kelly? Or will the two of them adopt an adolescent who has a tragic link to Stella Kid's own history? On the Chicago Fire, are Severide and Stella expecting a child? Although the two were authorized for adoption and are currently just waiting, the response at this time looks more like nay than yes. Stella keeps herself occupied with Girls on Fire in part because they both appear to be growing a bit nervous during the waiting period. She meets Natalie there, a year-old who looks up to her. However, Natalie doesn't come back as Stella gives the girl some tough love after she leaves. Stella worries, so she searches for Natalie in an attempt to divert her attention from the fact that she has not received a response from the adoption agency. In fact, what she discovers is devastating. She actually assisted in saving 4-year-old Natalie during a fire that once affected her family years ago. This likely explains Natalie's extensive knowledge of Stella and the hero worship. Although Stella and Kelly's adoption of Natalie matches the mold of earlier Chicago Fire narratives, we don't know much about Natalie's family, other than the fact that she has spent some time at the community center. Javi wasn't a newborn when Cruz adopted him. When the Darden brothers were teenagers, Casey adopted them. Additionally, if Stella and Kelly adopted Natalie, it would be easier to transition to sharing memories with them as parents than if they adopted a child. A kid would have been a problem for Kelly and Stella, even if there had not been the added burden of a pregnancy, which would have kept Stella out of commission for a long period. They would have to take a long period of time off from work. Realistically, we would hardly see them together on shift, which would be detrimental to the program. But all those problems are resolved by a teenager. Additionally, this youngster has developed an emotional bond with Stella as a result of the show, which makes her the ideal candidate if the two decide to adopt an older child. This doesn't even preclude the couple from adopting a child in the future. That plot might still be present, and it should be simpler to see how they perform with an adolescent initially. All things considered, Herman would likely disagree. However, given their past interactions, Stella and Kelly seem like they might get along well with a teenager. Furthermore, if it didn't mean anything, why would the show have introduced the girl, shown her bond with Stella, had Stella become attached, and then revealed to us that Stella had saved her from a fire when she was 4 years old, in the same episode where they said that Stella and Kelly were both growing anxious about the time it was taking to hear back from the adoption agency? All the parts seem to be building towards something. Additionally, Stella and Kelly would make excellent parents, as we have